Alright, here we go. Thanks for joining me. This battle is going to be a little bit different than the last one we faced in control for control of Velathri. This is a Roman attack on the Etruscan-held city of Ariminum. And our forces are about equal, but the game is telling me we do not have a good chance of winning. I'm looking at this and I am guessing that's because this general is possibly very experienced, or these Italian spearmen are particularly strong. The garrison of Ariminum is not particularly strong. They do have cavalry, so do I. And then the garrison fleet is not particularly strong either. So, to be completely frank, I'm looking at this and saying, I'm not quite sure where this is coming from. However, this has the potential to be a very pitched battle. I am going to try and fight it out for control of the Italia province and to secure the area around Rome so that we can begin to expand and become the great power Rome is supposed to be. So without further ado, let's attack Ariminum. That's a good quote from Scipio. Scipio Africanus being, of course, I think the victor of the Second Punic Wars. He was the one that defeated Carthage. Good stuff. Now, because I am the attacker here, I will have the ability to position my army, just like I did in the Battle for Velathri, even though the Battle for Velathri we didn't actually fight in the city. And this one, we will be fighting in the city, which will be interesting. It's raining, so let's see if we can wait that out. There we go. No rain. Bright, sunny day for a battle. Now let's take a look at what we're conquering here. This video could turn into a two-parter if I have to take my time conquering this city. I remember it being a headache in prior playthroughs. Alright, so this is the main area of town that we'll have to hold if we want to capture it. And in the meantime, there will be other areas. Here's the amphitheater at Ariminum. Pretty cool how you can see the architecture. I always loved that about Total War games, especially Total War Rome 2. As I was saying, the other duty, of course, will be, to defeat the defending army. So my troops are already in a pretty good formation. I'm going to make one little change, just in case any of these guys come straight out at me. Okay. So we're going to do a very similar formation to the last battle. Of course, we will break the formation if we have to, which hopefully we won't. But this time I won't make that tactical error from that battle. Hopefully not, anyway. I am human. Right, and this time the general doesn't really have anywhere to hide. Actually, yes, he does. I'm going to hide the general in the trees over here so that I can have him be in a more advantageous position. And we're going to start the battle. Alright. No one's fighting yet, but the battle for Ariminum has begun.
Anyone who breaks formation will be punished.
Gotcha.
Happy to serve Rome.
Alright. So these early Roman legions have gotten into formation. Let's see if we can spy what's going on in town. We can't really, because the buildings are blocking our view. It looks like the main army is mustering... Goodness, that's a lot of troops. The main army is mustering here. So there they are. Those are the folks I've got to beat. Much different battle than the first one, huh? So what we're going to do... Looks like there's a thoroughfare coming in this way. Well, it would might be able to take this from a few different directions. We can march in this way, which will be a good move. Actually, yeah, we could march some here and some here, and potentially split their ranks. So let's do that. Let's get the skirmishers. Let's get them in a formation and see if they can just hang out right about here to get started. Let's have them march just to play it safe. We're going to have our heavy skirmishers light their javelins when they throw them. So we will see some flames. I did that in the last battle too, but I don't know that I really pointed out that I did that. And then for the second act, we'll have the entire legion line up back here. We'll have them march as well. So I'm not really paying too much attention to formations right now. Once I've got the units more in position at a distance and in the town, we'll play a little bit of a different game where we send one army at a time. And of course my general is hiding right here in the woods. They don't even know he's there. I'm sure, well, they know he's there, but they don't know where he is. So he will be able to charge somewhat unexpectedly when called on to do so. So we're going to speed up time a little bit. Not spend too much time waiting on marching. Sometimes I almost wish you could speed up the game a little bit more. But they are moving pretty quickly. It's like they're running, but they're just doing that light speed shuffle. Alright, let's see what's happening now that we're starting to get into town. We'll have a better view of all the enemy units. Alright. I've returned the game speed to normal because, frankly, I don't want to risk something happening while the game is sped all the way up. That would just be ugly. Wouldn't want that. So here's our situation. We have cavalry in the back, a whole bunch of Italian spearmen holding down the capture point of the city. So there's kind of two different armies. There's these guys here, and then there's the spearmen. If I can avoid provoking the spearmen and keep them there, I could potentially kind of fight two different battles, which is good. My main troops are getting into position here. Alright, they don't appear to be being provoked. You guys are marching really close to them, though. That's unnerving. Alright, they are moving. Looks like the cavalry are starting to charge. No, they thought about it, but then I didn't get any closer. So we're making them nervous. They should be nervous. This is the Roman Empire. Alright. What we're going to do, we're going to break apart this formation group here so that I can play with them. And we're going to put them right here. And I will tell them to run. And then here we will position these troops in relatively the same spot. Of course, I have an equal number of troops that are still marching in position over here, so this is going to be an interesting fight. What I'm trying to do, to give you a little bit of narration, is I've got this line established, these skirmishers, and they're going to march forward in a bit and try and piss off this group and try and draw them. And I want to have a line behind them to where when they have to retreat, after they have aggravated this group, there's a formidable line of troops ready to take them on. And that looks like it could go pretty well. Okay, these spearmen I want to have here. Swordsman right behind it. Perfect. Yeah, this battle will be a two-parter. A lot more planning going into this one than the previous one, so sorry for all the commencing to get ready to begin, but trust me, this planning will be well worth the effort. So they're still fresh. They're not really losing too much energy from this little bit of running I've asked them to do. That's good. And what are you doing back here?
Ready for duty.
Oh, I have a unit of Hastati that just decided,
At the double.
screw it, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. Let's fast forward a bit and get them in position. Alright, so I'm going to have to start issuing more intricate orders once the battle starts. I'll do my best to narrate, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this episode here, just because I want to be able to dedicate the next 15 minutes to actually playing out the battle. So now that we're ready to go, I appreciate your patience as I prepared for this battle. Hopefully it's pretty clear how we're going to attack this, and I'll see you in the next video.